Welcome to Game Time, presented by Kia, and the doubleheader on center court is over with the Denver Nuggets getting a clutch 5-point win over the Luka, LeBron-less Los Angeles Lakers. Chris Miles here with Isaiah Thomas, John Wall, and Brendan Haywood. And, you know, we got to start with the Nuggets, right? 6 players in double figures. Nikola Jokic, 28 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. But Zeke, one of the things that 3D asked in his interview after the game, he's like, defensive stops when you needed it the most, because obviously the Lakers were able to be potent offensively without their best 2 offensive players. But at the end of the game, when they needed stops, they got them.
And this is what, experience gives you. And this is what, like, being a former champion gives you. You understand how to win at the end of the game. Not only do you understand how to win at the end of the game, you understand how to execute, and that's what Denver was able to do. Lakers put up a tough fight, but at the end of the game, Denver executed better defensively and offensively.
Yeah, these are 2 teams that obviously are in the playoff hunt, but we're in a situation where they were desperate for a win. Nuggets 5-5 in their last 10 after winning 9 straight. And for the Lakers, they now have 4 straight losses, Brendan. When I look at that, I go, the Lakers know they're going to get Luka and LeBron back. So for the Nuggets, there did feel like another level of desperation for them.
Well, I'm not sure if it was desperation for the Nuggets, because they definitely didn't start out the game with that desperation. Had to take some early timeouts. They were kind of sleepwalking through this game. It kind of looked like the Nuggets walked out there and saw there's no LeBron, there's no Luka. They relaxed a little bit. And the guys for the Lakers that normally don't get minutes, they came out juiced up. You see a guy like Kenneth have a big night. Obviously, Austin Reeves, he's getting it done as well. Those guys were absolutely cooking. And eventually, Denver got into this game, took control, but then they eased back again. So Denver never really played with that desperation at times defensively. They looked a little bit lost. And you can tell about energy and hustle when you look at the rebounding. You can't give up 19 offensive rebounds. 19 offensive rebounds, that's way too many. So when I look at Denver tonight, they didn't really have that hunger, that aggression that I thought they should have. Right. This was a game that they probably could have won by like 15 to 20, and at times they just looked like they were floating when they were out there.
Now, John, to that point, I look at Dalton Knecht and Austin Reeves. Those 2, phenomenal, combined for 69 points. Knecht, really a guy who started off his rookie year playing well, but it's been a while since he's had a game like this, his second 30-point game as a rookie. What did you make of those 2 getting the opportunity and combining to score almost 70 points?
Well, I think with Austin Reeves, since they got Luka, he got the ball taken out of his hands, but since he came back with those 2 guys being out, he was able to be aggressive, have the ball in his hand, make the pick-and-roll plays, and basically keep them in the game and give them a chance to win. I think with Dalton Knecht, he had the opportunity to get in there, start, get a lot of shots, what he's used to doing when he was in college. And when he gets it going, he finds his rhythm, and he found the flow.
You know, Zeke, you said before the game that this was an opportunity for J.J. Redick to see guys have an opportunity and make the most of it. You made some great points about Dalton Knecht being in this spot. How impressed were you of the way that he performed?
Extremely impressed with how he performed. But the guy that, to me, jumped out, is when you look at Shake Milton, right? 16 points, a plus 10 in the game, and, 7 of 11. There was somebody that you didn't expect. There was somebody that, you didn't account for. And I don't know how much JJ knew about him as a player, but getting a chance to see him under these conditions probably gave JJ a little bit more respect or a little bit more confidence in putting him in game time situations when you're going down the stretch. So I wouldn't be surprised if a guy like Shake Milton, come playoff time, you see him in some crunch time situations defensively and offensively, and you'll be able to point back to a game like tonight, because I think JJ saw something in him tonight where he may be able to have gained some confidence.
Yeah, well, the Nuggets always have confidence in Nikola Jokic. And Brendan, when it came down to winning time, Nuggets in the game on an 8-0 run, and they were down 3. Nikola Jokic said, okay, I got this from here on out. What'd you make of the way that Nikola Jokic played and closed out this game?
Well, listen, he made winning plays, and that's what he normally does. And especially coming down the stretch in this game, down 3, under a minute to play, not taking any fadeaways, not settling. He was able to just get downhill, get an and one bucket. And then we talk about the shot that Jamal Murray made, but that was set up by a devastating Jokic screen. So we understand the offense flows through this guy. He makes winning plays, whether we're talking about big-time screens, just getting your feet set. You don't have to worry about him being a liability at the free throw line. You know he's clutch there as well. And down the stretch of this game, he made those plays. He showed why he's an MVP candidate.
And looking at the schedule ahead, these two teams meet again next week. We could potentially see Luka, and LeBron doesn't seem like he's going to play in that game. But in the Western Conference standings, it gets really interesting now that the Lakers have lost 4 consecutive games because the Memphis Grizzlies, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Golden State Warriors, they're all jumbled in. You look at from 2 down to 7. I mean, the Lakers were in that second spot just a couple of days ago. Brendan, what do you make of the upcoming schedule, looking at the Lakers, the Warriors, and the Minnesota Timberwolves? Is who you think would be the team at 6th, and who would most likely be at 7th in the play-in?
I can't tell you who's going to be where, but I'm going to tell you, to me, the seeding matters the most for the Los Angeles Lakers because they have the 2 pieces. When you talk about Luka and LeBron, they're coming together. Even though they've had that 8-game stretch where they're playing well, they're still learning each other.
Still learning.
They're still trying to figure it out. You know, you have certain guys now that are getting more minutes that they're used to getting. Yeah. So this lineup is still different. There's still some growing and some gelling that they have to do. So I think seeding is very important to them because they don't want to go into a playoff series and mess around and have to get a Denver or OKC in the first round. They want to catch one of those younger teams, maybe a team like a Houston. And so very important to this Lakers ball club. They get down too far and that first round matchup is tough. This team wants to try to win a championship, and it's very hard when you have to start out going up against a 1 or 2 seed from the very jump and then try to run all the way through the Western Conference.
Yeah, with just under a month to play in the regular season.
Now kind of, stands in your way a little bit because the Lakers just didn't.
A little bit larger, yeah.
Yeah, so one game they just didn't have, as JJ said, shortcutted it. Yeah, right? They didn't have the effort that night.
That's the one, Geeter, that
hurts them a little bit.
After you looked at the injuries and LeBron being out, you look at the count, and you really put a lot of emphasis on that Brooklyn game because that's the one you need. And then you're only lost 3 in a row now instead of 4. So, they'll go through the drawing board, hopefully get a couple players back slowly. And if they continue to play like they played tonight, I mean, we said that
I agree.
It was going to be guys are going to get to measure themselves against, good players. And I thought they passed with flying colors.
And by the way, it's not just getting, if LeBron's going to be out for another week or even more, this team can win basketball games if you get those other guys back. They've shown it time and time again shorthanded that they can win games. When they get whole and they are healthy, this Laker team, we've seen what they can do. So I think that's what gives the 3 of us confidence. Now you hope they can go into this next stretch. You got 4 games at home. You got 4 games in 5 nights. Everyone's been talking about it. You know you're going to get an early start with Phoenix on Sunday, San Antonio Monday. You got Denver on Wednesday, Milwaukee on Thursday. 1 game at a time. Listen, AR tonight, I think if you're going to take some good stuff away from the last couple games, Austin Reeves.
It was a short struggle, by the way, but it was a struggle a little bit, as JJ said, when he came back after the injury, shooting 26% through 3 games. That's all changed. Look at this. Most games with 30 points and 10 assists in franchise history. He does it again. And look at the legends on that list. Austin tonight goes for 37, 13 of 26, 13 assists, and 8 rebounds. He had 20 and 10 at half. The only other guy to do that in a Laker uniform since 1996 is Kobe.
Can someone tell me what the James Worthy, Byron Scott combined 3 is? What does that mean? That together we combine for 3?
Together you combine for 3?
That means that's right.
That's right.
That's a fucking duo, baby.
That's right.
Who had the 2 and the 1?
He probably had the 2.
I don't know.
That's pretty good.
I just happened to see that down there.
Pretty good. But how impressed were you, just guys, with how Austin was able to navigate the night? Listen, we've seen him as the 1A.